Hey, it's a Sports Desk, and you don't want to miss the highlights of the only undefeated girls team in the Pioneer League. Plus, the South boys need a win to gain more ground. Can they hoop it up against the Gundo? Bustamante bust the moves for the South boys on the pitch. And it's big-time play at the Downtown Showdown in a game at Staples Center. Get fired up because it starts right now. Hello and welcome. This is the Sports Desk, and I'm Bonnie Prickitt. It is Super Bowl week. Who are you going for? The Steelers or the Packers? Well, regardless of who you're going for, it's sure to be a good game. Let's check out another good game. It is called the Downtown Showdown, and it's all about the love of basketball. And oh yeah, getting to play ball where the best of the best play every week. The Los Angeles Clippers organization hosted the Torrance and West varsity teams to a day of fun and fundraising. The Lady Warriors took the first meeting over the Lady Tartars, and the highlights of the boys' game aren't just exciting because they're playing on the Staples Center hardwood. Let's check it out. It is time for the Downtown Showdown. The West Warriors are playing host to the Torrance Tartars, where only the best play on the Staples Center floor, right before the Los Angeles Clippers take on the Charlotte Bobcats. Of course, it's a big story that these two prep varsity teams get to play on the hallowed hardwood. But really, when it comes down to it, this was a good basketball game. The Bay League's West Warriors' offensive attack in the first half fell short more than a few times. The Tartars were just on fire. Tartars are up by 10. Jimmy Carley, big man in the paint, for the 2 points. Tartars keep changing their offensive formation, keeping the Warriors on their toes. Brett Takahiji there with the nice hook shot. They're still up by 10 points. Every Torrance player on the roster brought something to the game, but junior forward Shane Smith brought 19 points from off the bench. The Tartars would manage to maintain the lead the entire first half, but most importantly, the crowd was presented with some great halftime entertainment from both schools. It's about midway through the third quarter. The Tartars are perfecting their play in the paint. This one makes it 38-27 Tartars. A nice little side story to this game is junior forward Shane Smith makes 7 of his free throws. We start the fourth quarter with the Warriors a little bit more focused on their mission here at Staples Center. Let's go ahead and go to the game. As any good athlete knows, there's a lot to be said for listening to your coach. Just ask senior guard Kieran O'Shaughnessy.
And Coach Paul, he just said, go out here, and if we want to win, we can win. So we just had to play hard and stuck to the script, played defense, played as a unit, and it came alive in the fourth quarter. People were finding people, open looks and everything. So,
what's the word in the script?
Defense, mainly.
Strong defense would definitely help the Warriors keep a win in their wish bucket, but check that one out. Rashard Cobb all the way. Whoosh. That, ladies and gentlemen, would get the Warriors in the lead for the first time in the game. The Tartars are still trying to make a comeback, but any mistake they made, West Warrior Dominic Griffin would capitalize on. Fast pass again to Rashard Cobb, who would score most of his 16 points in the second. Senior guard Kieran O'Shaughnessy really led his team on the stat board and in the defense. He had a game-high 26 points, 16 of which were scored in the second half. But look, he likes to share too. And look at Mr. Cobb, 4-3. The Warriors would go on to beat the Tartars 65-58. While winning was cool, they had to admit that playing in the Staples Center was cool too.
It was pretty exciting. This morning I woke up kind of early. I was pretty excited. I couldn't really sleep last night, actually. And when I got here, I was just ready to play.
It was really nice because it was like once in a lifetime experience.
And then talk to me about when you guys walked in and you walked in that locker room. What's your feeling?
We were excited. It was all big and nice and had our names everywhere.
Regardless of the outcome, one thing is sure: everybody will remember this game for a very long time. Big time fourth quarter play on the biggest court there is brought the Warriors the win over the Tartars. The Warriors are 12-10 overall, and the Tartars are 10-12 after this game. As you saw, Kieran O'Shaughnessy was on fire, and so was Rashad Cobb. They both hit him when it mattered. Jimmy Carley and Shane Smith were pretty extreme and exceptional for Torrance. The dominance of a team isn't usually given notice until midway through the season. Well, it's that time. It's time to notice the dominant North Saxons. They hosted the Tartars to a Pioneer League game, and Coach Gary Dupron's squad has a player or two or three that will impress you. But before you dive into the boys' highlights, you have to see Nicole Flannery break down the North and Torrance girls basketball game. These girls are hardcore. Let's take a look.
We're early in the first quarter here, and it's already a really physical, well-played game for both sides, and that's Faith Matsuda, and she'll miss it from downtown, but with the rebound and the easy lay-in right here, Torrance will go up by 2 early. Later in the first half, both teams tied at 6 apiece, and the pass is to Jocelyn Barnes, who will dish it back out to Clarissa McTougal, and she's just going to drive right through the lane, turn around, put up the pretty hook shot to put the Saxons ahead by 2. But the game really got interesting after halftime, and the Saxon team giving the Tartars a run for their money. And this is Faith Matsuda. She's going to hit the 3. She missed it before, but drains it here in the third. And just minutes later, Tartars up by 2, and the dish to Matsuda, and she's going to hit the 3 again from way downtown to put the Tartars up by 5. She'd have 4 threes on the night. But it's still a really close game, and in the fourth quarter, North just needs to keep up that intensity. This is late in the fourth and some good defense here, but the Tartars are going to get it back and dish it out to Matsuda. There's a 4-3 of the night. The Tartars are going to take a 4-point lead. But with less than 30 to go, it's a 2-point game, and the Saxons have a chance here to end the undefeated streak of the Tartars and to take the top spot in the Pioneer League. But with 16.8 seconds left and the pressure on, Kayla Yonemoto for the Tartars comes up big with 2 clutch free throws, even when Coach Tina Gross from North tries to freeze her at the end of the game. And the Tartars will continue their undefeated streak as they take it 51-47.
It feels good inside, but you know, it comes with working hard at practice and just being dedicated to everything.
What was the most important part of this win for you guys? Like, what did you do especially well tonight?
I think that our defense is always up top, you know, it's 100%. But another thing is like our offense sometimes gets, offside, but we just step it up on defense and we bring it back there.
And the Torrance boys will have their work cut out for them tonight as they face the Saxons, led by Elliot Morris, who's averaging a double-double in each game this season. And already up by 6 in the first, and this is junior forward JT Heath with the big 3, going to put North up 12-3 early. Later in the first, this is junior guard Kygel Jolly, and he's going to take it right in the lane with a nice spin move and right off the glass in the basket for the Saxons. And that's going to do it for the first quarter, and those guys from North just looking like they're having a great time over there. And later in the second, and this is something that happened a lot this game, and Elliot Morris will go up for the shot, but he'll get his own rebound and get a second crack at it, and he'll lay in the easy 2. Just minutes later, and Darren Hekanova is going to pass it to Devontae Jenkins, who's going to go straight in the lane as he's falling, hits it off the glass. Pure athleticism right there. And the Saxons really showing why they're sitting atop the Pioneer League standings. With a halftime score of 47-26, it's not looking good for the Torrance Tartars. In the start of the second half, and this is Darren Hekanova, and he's going to drive to the lane, and he'll miss his shot, but who's there for the rebound but Elliot Morris, who will draw the foul. And he'll knock down a couple free throws here to add some more points onto the Saxons total. In the very next possession, you're going to see a little bit more of Elliot Morris in the paint, and he turns, hits the hook shot, makes it look easy.
You know, we've never had anybody quite as good as Elliot Morris. He's awesome on the boards and plays hard. And, he was one of the ones that was a little bit frustrated with himself because he traveled once. And it was like, Elliot, you traveled once and we're up by 20. It's okay.
Fourth quarter, and Elliot Morris is going to grab that rebound at the other end. And one thing Coach concerned about is, with all the superstars on this team, are they really going to be able to play as one? Are they really going to be able to use teamwork? Well, right here, Darren Hekanova passed it to Eddie Lee. And then Morris is going to dish it back out to Hekanova, who lobs it up. And look at the jam from Elliot Morris, and that's really going to get the crowd going. 2 plays later, and here's Elliot Morris again. And he's just, I'll keep it this time, and drives through the lane. Easy bucket right off the glass. And after that, the starting five for Torrance are going to take a seat, and I guess they have a lot to smile about. They're sitting atop the Pioneer League, and they just pulled off a 75-52 statement win against the Tartars. So it looked like you guys were kind of having fun out there, were you?
Yeah, we work hard, so at the end of the game, we can relax and have fun.
That's right. The girls had fun too. And Nicole, thanks for that story. Ladies first, so let's look at their score. Torrance remains undefeated in the Pioneer League. Faith Matsuda sunk 12 points off of 4 3-pointers. Ihana is Miss Double-Double this week. Jessica Fujisubo and Brittany Kwan both scored 10 points. And Lady Saxons Clarissa McTougal and Brittany Suminaga, were huge for their team as well. Looking at the boys, the Torrance team has grit for sure, but couldn't get past North, who are ranked 12th in Division III AA. North has Elias Mort. Check out those stats. That's right. And Devontae Jenkins, scary good in that game. Brett Akahiji helped the Tartars on the board too. Coming up after the break, there's another team that could be a thorn in the Saxons' side. Stick around.
What you doing, Dad?
My favorite thing.
Really, Dad, what are you doing?
Paying bills. Every month a stack of them come, just as regular as the rain.
What's this one?
That's a special one, son. I pay it first.
How come?
It's money for my retirement account. I put some money aside each month just like I was paying a bill.
Wouldn't you rather buy something?
I don't want to work forever, and I don't want you to have to support me in my old age. In a way, I'm buying peace of mind. I'm on the installment plan.
I will keep dancing on point, even if it hurts.
My arm is killing me. I don't know if I can pitch another ball, but I'll just play through the pain anyway.
I have to do the big stunts. We'll look better than the other cheerleaders if our tosses are bigger.
My elbow really aches, but I've got to keep practicing.
Nearly 50% of all sports injuries sustained by middle and high school students are from overuse. Don't play through the pain. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
Hi, I'm Jerry West, and you're watching the Sports Desk.
The South Spartans' record overall is just above 500. But they're not out of the playoff race yet. In the 5th Pioneer League game against second-place El Segundo, the Spartans showed more than just determination, and Karen Bright shows you just what it is.
It's finals week at South High, and few fans made it to the gym as most students are home cramming for exams. But the Spartan basketball team is full strength on the hardwood and prepared to test their teamwork as they host the Pioneer League's first-ranked El Segundo Eagles. Third-ranked South usually sports a defense-first game plan, but start off with an offensive spark as Amar Kukrija lays it up for the first points of the game. The Eagles, with a spark of their own, make a big steal for a big bucket and take a 10-7 lead over the Spartans. South shows glimpses of offensive promise, but their shot isn't on, so they stick to their strengths on defense. At the end of the first, Eagles are up 13-8. Second quarter, rebound machine Jabron Sawani makes his presence known, and Kukrija sinks a 3 to tie the game at 13. But the Eagles, with an immediate answer, look like they can turn it on whenever they want. Up top, the Eagles keep South on the perimeter, and the Spartan shot still isn't on. El Segundo is in the driver's seat and have control of the court. But the Spartan D and their quick transition offense keeps them in the game. They're only down 6 as halftime hits, and it's 26-20 El Segundo.
We always talk about every single game. We want to give 100% effort, want to execute well, and want to endure. And endure means you do whatever it takes as long as it takes. And I always remind them of the endurance part. That has nothing to do with physical condition. It has to do with enduring mentally in terms of our game plan, and that no game will ever be won by looking at the scoreboard, whether we're up or down.
Here comes the second half, and get ready for a nail-biter. The Spartans figure out how to get things moving in the paint, and Todd Sivison takes the task of the outside shot on himself. He sinks 3 straight threes from the exact same spot. Todd tells us what changed for the team after halftime.
They're playing a zone defense, and we're rushing a little too much, so
you know, once we took our time, we were a little more patient, we used more ball fakes, and we were able to get it in a little more, and then they were able to kick it to me for a 3.
South goes up 30-28 for their first lead since the first quarter. El Segundo keeps pace, and a questionable foul call gives them 2 at the line, and they tie it up at 39 as the third quarter comes to a close. Fourth quarter, bring on the drama. It's a chess match, and both teams step up to the challenge as they battle for the lead. El Segundo hits a 3, and it's 47-all for the 7th tie in the second half. 1 minute to go. South is up 51-50 and runs the clock. El Segundo gets a hand in, and the ball goes loose, but the Spartans recover. Shea Madrid takes a foul, makes 1 of 2. It's 52-50 South with 21 seconds left on the clock. Eagles draw a foul, but miss both shots. It's contagious as Jabron Sawani does the same when he goes to the line. Looks like the game's over, but with 1 second left, El Segundo's extra effort sinks one to tie. It's 52-52, and that means overtime. Things look bad for South in OT. El Segundo goes on a 6-point run, but then Shea Madrid takes a big hit. He closes the gap, nailing 3 straight free throws. It's 58-55 Eagles. Here we go again. 1 minute on the clock. South with a bucket brings them within 1, 58-57 El Segundo. Now 24 seconds. Shea Madrid makes both free throws to take a 59-58 Spartan lead. 4 seconds. Eagles inbound, but South's Big D forces the ball out. A technical foul on the inbound, and Madrid puts 1 more in the bucket for South.
Well, I knew we were in the bonus, and I just wanted to attack, and I was just feeling it today, feeling my free throws.
It was also going through my mind, he missed the free throws in regulation, or we didn't have to go to overtime, if you remember. We were up 52-50, and we missed 3 consecutive free throws. The game could have been over. So I was also thinking about that, but I forgive them. They made up for it in overtime, for sure.
South wins it 60-58 and improves their league ranking to 2nd place.
We didn't give up today. You know, we were down by 6 in overtime, and then we came back with an 8-0 run to finish it off.
We've been in this situation a couple times before this year, you know, and definitely these past couple days that we've, since our last game, we've definitely come together as a team, and when we decided that we're not going to let these little games get past us anymore. We're gonna take the win on these kind of games.
The South Spartans pull out a huge home court win tonight against the Pioneer League's first-ranked El Segundo Eagles. Their 8-point run in overtime improves their record to 12-9 on the season. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Karen Bright.
Hey, Miss Bright, thanks for the breakdown. South got some game, and they showed it. Shea Madrid, incredible addition to the Spartans. You've not heard the last of Todd Sibison or his ability to put the points on the board. Let's take a look at a few more scores. Brandon Gardner and big man Jimmy Carley led the attack against league rivals, the South Spartans. North would take a page out of the recent Celtics handbook with a 4th quarter win in their competition against Compton Centennial. In the Bay League, the Warriors won against the Mustangs. The Knights, oh how the Knights are a soap opera. Huge win over the Sal Lancers, but a very, very sad loss to league rival Sarah. There are only 2 losses in the Delray League. Let's take a look at the Prep girls' scores. The B-Money girls are trying to hold on to 2nd or 3rd place. They've had some injuries, and they're hurting a little with Devon Brookshire. She's out for a couple of weeks, and Kristen Ale has not been playing very much due to a knee problem, but obviously that's not hurting them as they secured 2 Delray League wins. And the Lady Warriors are 2-4 in league after a loss to powerful Costa. And they did play an excellent game in the downtown showdown at the Staples Center against the undefeated Pioneer League's Lady Tartars. Lawndale never had a chance against the South girls basketball team, but the undefeated Pioneer League Torrance Tartars turned the tables on South. And it's no surprise that Faith Matsuda led the scoring for the Tartars. Now, North might not be undefeated in the Pioneer League, but that doesn't stop stat leader Jocelyn Barnes in the game against Centennial. How to get your team ready for the postseason? Have them play a really, really good team. The LA Center for Enriched Studies won against the Lady Saxons Laces. When we come back, we are going to jump to the pitch.
I'm a big believer in the power of we.
We got each other, and that's
We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. The reality is, we're all in this together. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in.
How will you raise your hand when they call your name?
Are you with me?
We weren't born to follow. Come on and get up off your knees. Let me hear you say yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Let me hear you say yeah, oh.
Hi, I'm actor Jerry Mathers of Leave It to Beaver. Things have changed a lot since the days of black and white TV, but good values and doing the right thing never go out of style. That's why I'm working with the Partnership for Prescription Assistance to help people get the medicines they need. If you are uninsured and struggling, call our toll-free number or visit our website to see if you qualify. It's a free service, a free phone call, and in many cases your medicines could be free too. Remember, help could be just a phone call away.
Welcome back. It would be no surprise that girls soccer in the Bay League is in a tight race for the second and third spots, with an undefeated Palos Verdes holding first place. West Torrance lost to rival Miracosta by one goal in the first game of the season. And this time around, they've got a different plan and a different attack, and Ghazal Hassan breaks this exciting game down.
Bay League girls soccer action, the Warriors of West playing host to Peninsula. Peninsula comes in having played well with 4 wins and a tie over their last 6 games, while the Warriors could put themselves just a half game outside of second place with a win today and do a lot for their playoff positioning.
We go to the pitch at West High School, Warriors in white, while Peninsula sports the all-black ensemble a la New Zealand. Warriors trying to get on the board early here, aggressive move towards the net. We go to the 7th minute. Watch Rebecca Meyer here, keeps it alive, and Natalie Argoti does the honors as West jumps in front 1-0. Scoring chances for both teams in the first half, but the goalkeepers stand up, holding both offenses in check. Here we go, West on the attack. Chidera Akabulo is denied by the Peninsula goaltender. The game remains 1-0. As the Warriors try to mount another attack, here's Rebecca Mayer again, the senior from 25 yards out. That one's scooped up by the goalkeeper for the Peacocks. This time it'll be Peninsula on the attack against Amanda Ornelas in nets for West, and she denies the Peacocks.
Our defense was just thinking we have to get the ball out as quick as possible and that we have to do anything we can to get the ball out of our side of the half.
Ornelas, who held the Peacocks in check for the remainder of the first half, gave credit to her defense and their communication.
Mainly communication, because if someone's in my way, I have to tell them to move or to tell them get the ball out. So mainly communication's my key.
The Warriors take the 1-0 lead to the half, but head coach Jim San Martin reminds his team this one is far from over. We go to the 49th minute. West leads 1-0. Warriors going to be called for a handball in the box. This sets up a direct penalty kick for Peninsula, and Ann Moody delivers the equalizer, all even at 1-1, 49th minute. 5 minutes later, Allison Levy gets loose on this rush and sends a pass across. Freshman Jessica Vincent waiting on the doorstep, and with her left foot delivers a la Daniel Day-Lewis. West back in the lead, 2-1. Group hugs all around, and here's the lady of the moment, freshman Jessica Vincent.
I just saw the ball coming up with our outside mid, and I just ran with her, and I was open, so I just worked out that way, and then I just scored with my left foot.
Sophomore goalkeeper Amanda Ornelas and the Warrior defense made the lead stand up as West secured the 2-1 win over Peninsula. This kept their playoff hopes alive in the Bay League. After the game, we were able to chat with Coach Jim San Martin about the game and the team's future prospects coming off the 2-1 victory over Peninsula.
It puts us in the playoff race. You know, if we would have lost that game, it would have been tough. We would have had to win at least 4 games out of 5 coming up. You know, this puts us in a position where we just got to beat those teams that are in front of us. You know, and if we beat them, then it gives us a good shot at the playoffs.
Coach San Martin hopes his young Warriors can reward his confidence with a playoff berth. Reporting for the Sports Desk, Ghazal Hassan.
Thanks to Ghazal for that story. West is best in this second chance game, putting them in third place, that is at the moment. Becca Meyer gets the assist to Natalie Argotti for the Lady Warriors' first goal. It was early on. And credit to Allison Levy for putting it in the right place for Jessica Vincent to score and seal the win over the Lady Mustangs. Let's take a quick look at another couple scores in the Pioneer League. The Lady Tartars are showing that with talent and coaching, it's enough to get another win over two pretty talented teams. They now stand alone atop the Pioneer League with South securely in the second spot. And let's go ahead and talk about boys prep soccer. It doesn't take a whole lot for an entire team to get motivated behind a few good wins. And this could not be more true than in the game with the Tartars playing the Spartans. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The sun was shining for a Pioneer League matchup as the Torrance Tartars hosted the South Spartans. Both teams come into the game with a win last week against Centennial, but South has a slight advantage as they're ranked 4th, Torrance is ranked 5th. The Tartars are goal-oriented from the start, but South takes the early 1-0 lead. The Spartans are strong in the middle and continue to test Tartar goalie Gabe Williams. A few plays later, Williams is sidelined after a save and replaced by Byron Davia. Davia proves himself stopping everything from indirect kicks to the outside shot. But watch out for Spartan forward Gerson Bustamante. He scores a pair of goals, one in the 41st minute, and in the 43rd, a chip from the 18 sneaks by Davia. The Spartans are dominating 3-0. South keeps the pressure on the net, and Torrance can't seem to get their offense started. The Tartar defense helps Torrance hold on to the half. The score remains 3-0 South. Second half, the Tartars take the field with a new energy, and their offense starts to click. Scoring opportunities are created, but they can't cash in. Torrance stays strong in the back with no more goals allowed, but the Spartans take the 3-0 win. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Karen Bright.
Thanks to Karen Bright for the breakdown. The Spartans were fast and furious with the win over Torrance. And of course, Gerson Bustamante and Josh Fennell scored the 2 goals for the Spartans, helping them to look forward to being in the playoffs behind the #1 team. That's right, North Torrance is having another dominant year in the Pioneer League, hoping to make another deep run into the CIF playoffs, especially after 2 solid wins over Torrance and Centennial. They are undefeated, and you will see the highlights right here on the Sports Desk next week. In the Bay League, the boys soccer team is moving along pretty nicely with success against Miracosta, and that would be West. They are 4-2 on the season and 10-5-5 overall. Now let's take a look at the way you can get in touch with us here at the Sports Desk. Give us a call. 310-618-5762. You can email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. You can see all of our shows from years past online at torranceca.gov. And most of the shows are updated on YouTube, the shows from 2010. That's all the time we have for you today, Torrance. So until next time, have a good time and go Steelers.